think what I'm gonna do here.
Here, let me.
I think I'm gonna do this. Right? Oh, what a turn, man. What a turn. Let's go, man. This is nice. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today, we're going to be running a very Frankensteinish list. This is going to be a MARDU Sacrifice list that's going to combine about 3 other different types of lists that you may be familiar with. So we're basically taking the idea of Mono Black Sacrifice as well as Rakdos Treasures and Orzhov Blood Money style lists. We're kind of combining it all into one here in a MARDU special, man. It's a MARDU mob special, and I cannot wait to break this thing down as always. But before we do, I just ask if you're new here and you find any value in today's video, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it, as well as the like button. It goes a very long way. With that being said, let's dive in and talk about the list, guys. We're running MARDU today. We're running a card in particular that I really wanted to run, and honestly kind of started building the deck around, is the Rite of Oblivion. Now, this is a card I've been seeing popping up in Orzhov lists all around the meta right now, and it is an absolute destroyer. This is one of the best removal cards I've ever seen. You know, its consistency is so smooth. Like, this card hits everything, and if you package it with just, you know, your standard early mono black game, this thing is nuts because you have so many good targets to sacrifice, and you can basically exile anything on the field for 2. The removal cost on this is very cheap, and you're ultimately going to be gaining value off of its negative effects because you're sacrificing things that you want to sacrifice, and you're getting value there. So that's where we kind of started this list, and we kind of built from there. I added in Kaya, the Inexorable. This is a planeswalker I absolutely love, and I'm sure a lot of you out there do as well. This is a very cool card that is very annoying once it gets resolved, and gets a +1/1 counter on something to protect it. So what did we choose to protect it? We chose the Predator, Imastrum Predator. I'm probably saying that wrong, but the Predator is an overpowered Rakdos card that does really well when you're talking about Rakdos Treasures. We're trying to get this thing down early on a turn 3 because of our Kalain here. Kalain the Painter is going to get down turn 2, get us a treasure, and turn 3 we're going to get down the Predator early, and it's going to be a 4/4. So this thing is going to be absolutely busted when it hits the battlefield because it's going to be able to gain indestructibility. It's going to be absolutely incredibly tough to remove off the field. So that package alone right there is kind of where the deck, you know, originated, and then we built around it with some really good sacrificial tools like Shambling Ghast, obviously for the treasure effects. We really want to get those extra treasures. We chose the Witch over the Eye Twitch just as a personal preference. I think the Witch has some really cool things in its spellbook that I would like to grab and play on some of these matchups, as well as Deadly Dispute also gives us some access to some treasures, so there's a lot of treasure synergy there. It's gonna be that early game to get the Predator out early. We've also got some heavy top end removal like Blood on the Snow to sweep the board out, so treasures are going to be very important so we can ramp up to those things, especially for playing against like Gruul. Gruul is extremely quick right now, and because we're playing MARDU, we have access to some really fun tools like Lorehold Command, and you know, we've got one Awaken the Blood avatar, just because this card is got a special place in my heart as well. It's hard to get this thing in for super cheap and see some value out of it, especially because, you know, like Clerics and you know, Gruul, just things mono black, they typically flood the board with a bunch of different permanents. So the decks that you want this to hit on, they're gonna have a lot of options to sacrifice whatever they want to sacrifice. So Awaken the Blood avatar is not great, but in some cases it could absolutely just run over your opponent and win you the game. So that's why it's in here. This is one of, it's really nice to have, but the Lorehold Command is a 4 of. And just quickly, I wanted to state I did make a misplay, well, not a misplay, but I forgot about its one of its abilities here on the card. It says creatures you control get 1/0 and indestructible and haste until your end of turn. I actually had the ability to win the game. I still won the game ultimately from the same play, but don't forget about that because it could actually potentially win you a game in some tight situations. So don't forget I did, and it does happen. So we also have obviously some snow mana here as our package. The mana looks kind of funky, but trust me, I think I've got it dialed in pretty good here. And yeah, that's the deck in a nutshell. We're going to get into the gameplay footage now, and we'll meet you guys back here for some final thoughts on how we thought the deck fared and played out. But thanks for watching, guys, as always, and enjoy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. First game of the night. Let's get it. Let's try to run through this quick and just roll through everybody, man. Let's get it. This deck's pretty awesome, man. It's fairly powerful. It does its thing, and pretty excited about it. We got a Deadly Dispute with the Witch. Yeah, we're gonna keep a little bit slow with the snow lands here, but that was the main thing I was worried about, is just how slow it could end up dragging because of the snow lands. But they are important because I do think Blood on the Snow is too good not to have here in this particular build. So got the Cursebound Witch in play. Deadly Dispute on deck next turn. Predator comes down and hopefully gets big enough to compete with all of this nonsensical wolf nonsense. Hopefully that's at least the plan, so we'll see. All right, that's gonna be a 3/3. Yikes. Vigilance. Trample. Okay, well, trample means even if I sacrifice my witch, all that damage is gonna roll over. Which, by the way, this deck too, we just cried away a land, and it made me remember that I went lower on the amount of mana I've ever went on any deck I've ever created with this deck, because I've played it a few times now, and the only times we've had troubles is we get absolutely flooded for some reason. I don't know what the deal is with that, but yeah, just getting flooded. So I took the lands down a little bit. All right, that's tough, man. 5 damage coming in hot. Can't be stopped. Looks like they have something playable too. All right, let's hope we grab something really cool here. Something super helpful. The Witch's Book can be full of good things and bad. Whenever you sacrifice another permanent, you may pay 3. If you do, create a token or a copy of the Sorcerer's Brew. No, I think the cat's the best thing here, making him discard a card when we sacrifice stuff. We're naturally going to sacrifice things, and then the cat will make them discard, which is helpful. It's going to be an interesting turn here. Interesting turn we're going to have here. How do we handle it? All right. I think the only thing we can do here is the cat. And we Oblivion one of these. And then the other one transforms back because we cast 2 spells on the turn. They discard a card, which is also helpful. And we're back down to minimal damage. Pretty solid turn. I think that was about as good a damage control as we could have done. Still looking for that Blood on the Snow though. That way we can really solidify and hammer home the victory. But it's all dependent on whether or not we can top deck it. We do have ways to draw cards, obviously, so the likelihood of drawing it is definitely there. Did they just take another 3? I think they did, so they're gonna have a 4-drop here. Either that or they're gonna unload their hand. That's a tough one. Let's go with the Painter. Painter for sure, right? Painter's like the no-brainer play here. We could exile this. It says whenever it attacks, it deals 1 damage to each up to 1 target creature and our player. Okay, so if it transforms, it's doing 2. It's not going to transform. So if I play the Predator, I could kill it with a block and sack. Actually, I wouldn't even need a sack, would I? This would come in as a 5/5. Or I can exile it. I think I'm going to go for the greedier play, which is making the Predator a 5/5. This is by far the more greedy play. But I think in the long term, it's the more, you know, it's the bigger investment into the game. Because the sooner the Predator comes down, the better. Let's just hopefully it, you know, survives. They can deal damage with certain cards like Blizzard Brawl, but I can obviously go indestructible. If they do that though, I have to give up the Painter as a blocker, which is not ideal. Not ideal. I like that we have Rite of Oblivion in the yard too, that we can cast at any time. Deadly Dispute's obviously super helpful too, because we want to be able to generate some treasures to use to sacrifice with. I love that Predator came in early with some, with some early counters. Would love to see a Kaya. I've actually been playing this deck for a while today, and I haven't seen any Kayas at all. We have a full play set of 4, so that'd be kind of fun to see a Kaya come in. I don't know if the opponent decided they're going to rope us now or not, though, and maybe they don't have a great hand here. I don't know, but let's hope that's not the case. I don't want to be that guy, but sometimes you have to be. May have to make an edit here, and I hate to say this because prior to this game, the last game was actually going to be the first game of the video, and our opponent roped us. They got salty when we got ahead, and they decided to rope. So I'm hoping that our opponent here isn't doing that to us. I really want to turn these back, so I'm going to do this. I want to turn these back into the other side of their card. This is actually a really sweet card here, isn't it? Kind of. But Kaya's better. Kaya is definitely better here. Exile the big boy. Switch them back. And Kaya, I'm gonna protect Kaya. I was gonna say I could swing in, but I don't want to leave Kaya susceptible to, the return damage. Now let's hope our opponent's playing and not just roping out the rest of the game. They are playing. Okay, cool. Don't know what that was about last turn. Maybe they drew something cool and decided, oh, maybe, what, I should play. Tovolar does help. I mean, they get some card draw off of it, so if they swing all here. But then I'm going to hit them with the Lorehold command and just crush their dreams. Plus, if you hit a plus on Kaya on the Predator, it's like, what do you even do from there? Because the Predator is just going to be ultra unstoppable.
Ghosting feels weird, right?
Make it a 6/6. And we'll do another Predator. 1, 2... Yeah, nah. Nah, we'll hit him with the old Lorehold command here. Hit him with the Lorehold command. Make some good blocks here and go over the top and win the game next turn. We're gonna 3 damage on this guy, making everything weaker. They don't go for Kaya at all. They're going for lethal, which I respect. Create the blocker, deal 3 damage. Bada bing, bada boom. My blocker can block Tovolar, which is great, but I could also just make a trade here with the token or the pup. Either way, I'm at 15 now, so that's good. Probably make the trade with the token. I'm guessing though, by all this priority hold, they have some sort of pump spell of some sort, so I'm sure it's Snakeskin Veil or something of that nature. But then why wouldn't they use Snakeskin Veil there when I tried to kill their main source of damage there? So I don't know. Not 100% sure here what they're doing. Inscription, probably. Is Inscription an instant speed card? I think it is. All right, they give 4/4, or they give 4/0 and trample. Okay, that's fine. It still dies. I don't die, so that works. And they draw a lot of cards, though. I guess that was their main goal there, is to just draw a lot of cards. We're not out of the woods just yet here because we are not dealing lethal just yet, so. Could minus. You know what? Let's minus here.
I'm gone for now, but not forever. And stay gone.
Let's exile you. And let's just put up another blocker. Because they're probably going to have something that's haste, right? Like, let's avoid any sort of hasty type nonsense. And let's put up a blocker here. Because they could throw down a couple of, you know, things that, you know, have haste and really catch me off guard. They could throw down a Goldspan Dragon and then potentially, you know, pump it with the Ranger class plus give it a Snakeskin Veil. There could be a lot of nonsense that can go on here where they could kill me in one shot. And I think putting down a blocker as opposed to putting down our Planeswalker makes a lot more sense in order to really solidify the victory here. So there it is. There it is. Predators going in, man. Sorry the first game took so long. Don't know what my opponent was doing there, but good games. All right, here we go. Game number 2. The first game was solid. Let's see if we can keep that up. Let's hope we can keep it rolling. I am worried about the mana that this deck contains. I don't know if I mentioned it in the first game or not, but we're going with a very low amount of lands, and it really does kind of scare me a bit. Kind of scares me how low the amount of lands we decided to go on. All right, looks like we're playing dragons. Yikes. Hopefully Deadly Dispute at the top. No, of course not. No Deadly Dispute, but you know what? The Predator is a great tool here. So getting the Predator down a turn early with a 1/1 counter on it, it's going to be really helpful. Oh, don't know if we're going to win this one. Going second here, and they've got the Whelp. It's not... That's never what you want to see. We got to hope the rest of their hand looks absolutely garbage, because ours isn't looking super hot. If I would have had a Deadly Dispute here on turn 2 to kill the first Whelp, I'd feel a lot better, but not having it's tough. All right, ooh, Rite of Oblivion. Now that, though, is a great card. A great card, actually, and we'll pass the turn. Actually, yeah, we can attack here. Attack here, and these can't block, so you might as well just swing them both in. If they block with the Whelp, it's just a bonus for us, so let's go ahead and get in there. Predator is going to be able to go indestructible every turn, but if they do have like a Dragon's Fire, it's good enough to open them up to attack us, which would really suck. So I'm actually kind of happy this is happening, though, because I could sacrifice the Shambling Ghast and kill one of the Whelps, which is pretty helpful. Ooh, do I want to get a treasure, though, and just go for the Kaya next turn? That's an interesting take. Yeah, the Whelps are... They've pretty much done their job at this point, right? Like, let's not worry too much about them, because whatever's in their hand is already ridiculously cheap, so let's focus on other things here. Other things like the Kaya. Beautiful. Beautiful. And now we just wait. Now we just wait. We just keep protecting Kaya the best we can. You know, the mana's looking good. We got every color we need. Oblivion's still online. We got plenty of fodder for the Predator to sacrifice. So we're looking good, man. We're looking good. Not bad at all. I love this deck, by the way, guys. This deck is a lot of fun. It's very grindy. It's very much, you know, a Blood Money style list that, you know, it's mono black with some spice. That's basically what it is. Mono black does essentially the same thing. Probably better, if I'm being honest. But, you know, if you don't have everything that mono black requires, like some people don't have all the wild cards for Brushstroke, you know? So this is kind of another alternate way of doing things. You get the Witch for cheap because it's uncommon, and a couple other things. This card is an incredible removal card for, you know, cheap. And if you got some old Kayas in the deck, you know, throw them together and you got yourself something special here, man. Good enough to compete for sure. All right, so they throw down a Reckless Stormseeker. That's gonna have haste, which is tough because that means Kaya is probably gonna die here. Because why wouldn't they send them all to Kaya's face? Wow, not a single attack. That is odd. That is odd, ladies and gentlemen. I don't really know what to do with that information, if I'm being honest. I think what I'm gonna do here...
Here, let me help.
I think I'm gonna do this. Right? Gonna do this. This blocks flyers now. So we attack here. Oh, what a turn, man. What a turn. Let's go, man. This is nice. They're gonna have to do something about this predator soon because it is just gonna run them over. And that was a phenomenal turn for us because we have the spirit to block a return attack from, let's say, a gold span or whatever. Looking good. We cleared the battlefield up nice and clean and tidy. Nice and tidy, baby. There's the gold span. Surprise, surprise. We knew that was coming. They do get a treasure out of it, which is kind of annoying. Do your worst, gold span. Do your worst. Let me guess. You're going to attack. There you go. You got it. Didn't matter which direction you attacked. I was blocking either way. Do they eat their treasure? That's a good question here. Do they eat it for something better? Dang, this is so much cheaper. It's ×4 on the whelps. Dragon orb. They're probably going to crack that because they have a whelp on the field. So it's like, why wouldn't you crack it, you know? And if they do, I'm going to sacrifice the ghast right away here. This is not, you know, this is not the cleanest situation to be in at the moment. They're making it hard on me, that's for sure. Things at the end here. Oof, darn it. I should have put a stop on the... that's gonna go through, which... kind of lame. I could have stopped that whelp's ability there if I would have done this prior to the end step, but I didn't put a stop, unfortunately. We have a few turns where we could take some damage, no big deal. Let's go with the witch. Let's go here.
You'll be fine. Trust me.
You're gone. Get ourselves another spirit token. And what do we want to grab? A chance player up here. Oh, this is like the Turgrid's Lantern. What a great card. What a fantastic card. Eat that up. Everything I'm destroying here, everything I'm destroying is going to exile, which is even better than, you know, killing something. So we're looking really fancy right now, man. And then from now on, we play the you know, the Torment of Scarabs. So even if they, even let's just say worst case scenario, somehow destroy everything I have on the field, the Scarabs is gonna, you know, force their hand at either taking 3 or sacrificing something every single turn. And they're not taking 3, let's just say that. So they're gonna lose permanents and they're gonna have to discard every turn in order to not lose the game. Kaya's putting in work right now against these dragons, that's for sure. Making these 1/1 spirits. Kaya's also at 4 loyalty, so it's gonna be able to just -3 next turn. And oh man, feels bad, dragons, feels bad. Surprised they haven't scooped it up yet here. They must have something pretty good in hand. Obviously the whelps did a lot of damage when you talk about making things cheap. I have a feeling they made some big baddies really cheap in their hand. but they don't have an answer for Kaya's -3, and I think that's the problem. I think they know they don't have an answer for Kaya's -3. That's what's taking them so long to try to come up with a way to stop that. But they need like Dragon's Fire and something huge for like super cheap. I mean, this did generate 2 mana here, so you never know. They could easily get down another flyer to protect from Innerstrom and then do some damage to Kaya. All right, it's the Tyrant. That's a blocker, but doesn't stop Kaya. Doesn't stop Kaya. If they pass the turn here, it's over. But they do have 2 mana, so I would imagine Dragon's Fire on Kaya. It's the only reason they haven't scooped, right? No? Just a Dragon Orb? Seems like I got this. Maybe? I don't know what they're doing, guys. There it is. I was going to say this is taking quite some time to figure out when you've only got 2 cards in hand, but good games, my friend. On to the next one. All right, on to the next game here. What do we got here? So this hand's not going to cut it, unfortunately. This hand could end up cutting it if we find a singular creature. Let's scry. Let's scry here. There we go. All right, we're golden. We are good to go, ladies and gentlemen. We got the witch. The witch is going to be able to sacrifice, and we'll be off to the races here. But we are against Clerics. Yum. Delicious. You love to see it. Clerics is going to be really hard to kill. Extremely hard. Let's put it that way. Extremely hard to kill. What do we do, man? What do we do? Because I want to Rite to Oblivion this, right? But then I'm lowering my odds of drawing a Blood on a Snow significantly. Plus, man, that's gonna get so big and out of hand. There's not. I guess we could. Okay, we're gonna Deadly Dispute because we could chump block here, Deadly Dispute, and then next turn we can Rite of Oblivion our token, our treasure token. So that is something we can do. Guess I was sitting in front of me this whole time and I was getting scared. But no need to be worried this turn, at least. We can at least absorb quite a bit of this damage. Still looking though for that Blood on Snow. Hopefully we can just top deck it here, make my life easy, but I doubt it. Alright, they go for the Rite of Oblivion. I don't blame them. It's kind of the best card ever right now. All right, let's see what we get. Let's see what Santa brings us today. Ooh, Cauldron of Familiar is not bad. Let's go. It's a good sack card. Okay. Lorehold Command is interesting. I think just get down 2 blockers though and get ready to do another dispute. Seems like the best route to take here. A little bit of life gain never hurt anyone. But if that voice gets 4 counters on it, it's going to be able to have flying, which is what I really don't want to see here. So please don't gain that much life. Well, there's one. And you have another creature. You have a Pyre. Good. Okay, so it's not going to fly this turn. That's good. Good. So we can absorb 10 of this. Very helpful. Deadly Dispute. We'll Deadly Dispute the Witch. And what do we want here? Sure, I mean it's life gain. This is okay because it goes with the sacrifice theme, but not the card I want, honestly. All right, last chance, and it's not what we needed. Shoot. Okay, well. How do we handle this, ladies and gentlemen? I think we got a Lorehold Command. Sacking this. Dealing through this. Taking 10, we gain 3. Oh, God. we are just not, this is not it, man. We have a great, like, we're not playing bad and we're not having like bad draws at all. Like we're staying in there, but without Blood on the Snow, we just lose, unfortunately, to this deck. It just gets too big too fast. It really, really does. Too big, too quick. We're getting through a lot of our deck though very quickly. There are 4 Blood on the Snow, so I mean there is hope for us, but very, very small hope. Kaya, I mean that's cool, but still looking. Still looking. They pyre the what? The Voice? I would doubt it's gonna be the Voice, right? Like Clerics of Life Spawn would be a better sack. Okay. That's a 1-drop, so you're gonna get another Voice of the Blessed, I'm assuming, right? Which is good for us. I mean, if we hit a Blood on the Snow, if we don't, it's over. So it's now or never. And it's never. Got it. Okay. So, and we survive. I will survive. All right, we do this. These come in tapped. That's the biggest problem. We just gotta get bodies out there, right? Bodies, bodies, bodies. That's the best I got because we can block, right? We can block and we do survive, so it gives us at least one more turn. Because we can use the 2/2 bat to block up top. We can block the 6/6 with our 1/1. And as of right now, the Voice doesn't kill us, so that's good. And then they sack it anyways, and they take our bat. Okay, GG's. GG, my friend. Well played. We just couldn't find a Blood in the Snow, man. 4 of them in the deck. It just couldn't get it done. We basically went through half the deck, too. Little unfortunate. All right, we need to get one more beast of a game, guys. Wish me luck. We need another big one here. Let's get it. Hopefully we can get some Kaya nonsense going on. We get to go first with a really good hand. This isn't bad at all. Almost did that wrong. Almost out of the gate did that incorrect. All right. Bags packed. All right, let's hope they're packed because you're going to lose. Let's see. Oh, and it's Mill. I'm going to have to kill them ASAP. Oh, brother. I am going to have to kill them quickly. I can't get through anyway, so let's go and try and see if they allow the attack to get through. They might think I'm up to some shenanigans here, but they don't really care, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and sacrifice it. Let's go ahead and get our treasure and hopefully a Predator. Yes, sir. Predator. Let's go, baby. Next turn, we get down the Painter, a land. Predator comes in with 3 treasures, making it a, what? A lot? 6/6? And we should be able to kill them before they can kill us. But I am terrified of this deck because this deck in particular has things that deal with Predator pretty easily. Bounce effects, yada yada. Fading hopes and whatnot. So can't say I'm a huge fan of getting played against with Mill, but I think it's karma for last video I posted 2 videos ago actually. We played Mill, so this is the arena coming back at me. Had a really good starting hand too, so I don't want to lose this game, man. Just please no Divide by 0. Please no Fading Hopes. If they run those, I'm just toast, man. It's gonna be an absolute shame. Go and foretell some stuff, yeah? Okay, that works too. That works too. So they're scared of me. That's good. That's good to know. They're scared of me if they're playing Maddening Cacophony early and quickly like that. They're pretty scared of me killing them fast. So that is a good thing. Cacophony gone. Don't want that coming back for some shenanigans later. Let's go with the gas. end our turn. All right, we might sacrifice the Ghast here. Kaya says, whenever this creature dies or is put into exile, return it to my hand and 1/1 counter. So bouncing my Predator won't give me the 1/1 spirit token and getting my Predator back to me. So that's kind of tough. All right, they're not bouncing it though, so this is really good. Like they're giving us an opportunity here at this, and I'm really happy about that. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 if they don't block. They obviously block here. No blocks. Oh my gosh, you silly, silly guy. Oh, it doesn't. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I could have won the game either way. I could have won the game by giving all of my creatures +1/1 there. That was a misplay on my part too. That's a side of the card that's a portion of the card as far as choices go. That's like the last one I'm always ever using. So it's like one of those things that you forget that's on the card. But giving your creatures 1/0 and then indestructible and haste, that could have easily given me the victory as well. So I guess it wasn't that like nail biting, was it? GG's. We can maybe squeeze one more game in here. That was I still feel a little silly that I didn't see that prior to combat there. I am surprised our opponent didn't block though either. Like what? I wonder what they were saving. I mean, obviously I know what they're saving the crab for, but like, why not block there? I feel like that was a pretty big no-brainer. They didn't fall for my nonsense before, so I'm just shocked they didn't block is all. All right, so we got the witch to kick things off. So that's what we'll do. Hopefully into the predator, and then we got blood on the snow. This is a good hand, man. This is a really good hand. Uh-oh, red-blue again. Red blue again does scare me. Don't tell me it's another mill deck, because I don't think we're ready and equipped for it this time around. That does help a little bit though. That helps us get a little more equipped here. No plays, huh? 2 mana, no plays. Port of Card. What is this? Enters battlefield, taps. Sacrifice, mill 4 cards and return a card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Interesting. These are literally the 3 best cards we could ask for. I'm definitely going to take this. It's the easiest card to resolve. At the same time, it's like endless value every turn. So let's just go ahead and play that. It's basically a Turgid's Lantern. So we're going to take it. That other card is obviously better, the 7-drop or whatever, but it just... it's a little bit later into the game. So I'm going to play the one that kind of gives us a nice slow burn here. Shadow's Verdict, they throw it away, even though they saw things like our Witch, which is kind of the bread and butter of our deck. I'm really confused why I'm not drawing things here, so getting a little annoyed. Just drawing 3 Blood in the Snows, 3 Predators. The Shuffler's fine, guys.
The Shuffler is fine. Nothing to see here.
All right, Fading Hopes. That's annoying. That's really annoying. But you know what's more annoying is my Scarabs, baby. Let's go. All right. White, probably. Let's go. Let's just keep slamming the Predator over and over again until they run out of bounce spells. It seems like that's their goal, right? Just keep bouncing things and removing things. I don't know. Take another shot. Field of Ruin. I've got nothing for you to ruin, unfortunately. None of those fancy lands. We ain't got none of them fancy lands around here. All right, Kaya coming in. I'm gonna obviously just plus here and just make our Predator a little safer. They've got removal. I don't want it to just die. I don't have any creatures out there to sacrifice for it, so Let's just get Kaya out here. Hopefully it can protect it. They've got things like Divide by Zero, I'm sure, though. Okay.
Time to focus. I got a job to do.
Interesting. And they Fading Hope the Predator. Sure. Sure, guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This needs 6, 7 mana to activate. Okay. That's actually a good call. I don't actually have red I can grab here. That's that was a really good good shot there, but I do have a treasure. Let's keep the damage going, man. Keep it rolling. They're not gonna want to keep discarding cards every turn. It's not very good. Celestis, that's fine. Doesn't really do anything. Gives them a little bit of life gain here and there, but nothing serious. Target player reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards the card. Okay. How about a Blood on the Snow? Take one of those. Oh man, they did not like what they see. Oh, feels bad. Feels bad. GG's. All right, let's close this out with some final thoughts. That's gonna do it today, guys, for the gameplay footage. I hope you enjoyed this, you know, up to this point in the video. I really appreciate you hanging out with me all the way through. If you made it this far into the video, huge shout out to you guys. I really can't thank you guys enough, because that does help the algorithm a lot, and YouTube, and they'll push out my videos to more people. So thanks for helping me grow. Really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, you know, maybe consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate that as well. And yeah, with that being said, let's talk about the list. I really enjoyed this list. I think the mana is the only problem, right? Let's talk about that a little bit. So I think because we are running a snow package, so we can squeeze in the Blood on Snow, this deck does kind of get hurt because of that, because of the mana base, because you're going to want to run things obviously like snow dual lands, because that's, you know, these 7 snow lands here are not going to be enough in order for you to cast this and get full value. Like if you cast a Blood on the Snow, you can only get back a Shambling Gaster, which it's really not as good a value as you would like. So you do have to run more snow mana in this list because of that, and those coming in tapped is pretty tough. So the snow package alone is really tough. I did actually start this deck out with 25 lands. Every game, for whatever reason, I always run 25 lands. For whatever reason, I was getting flooded every game. So we went down, and because of all the treasure and interactions we have with like Dispute and these treasures here, I actually was able to cut it all the way down to 23, and it seems to be running really smooth at that. So even though we have some 5 drops, 6 drops, you know, 23 lands seems to be getting the job done, which is pretty awesome. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the Exodus and the Awaken the Blood avatar. Obviously, didn't see any play today in today's video, but still, I believe in this card a little bit. I think it has a place in this deck, especially when we're running Mardu. You know, if you're running red-black sacrifice, you definitely want to be running the avatar. And we've got white in the deck, so you never know what Exodus could be helpful. We do have spells, obviously, that we run, so the Exodus side of things with this Magecraft ability could be helpful. So I do think having one in here is definitely helpful, but didn't see play. So if you end up cutting that, totally fine. Yeah, I wish we could have got more Kaya Predator interaction with this deck, but I think overall everything ran really smooth. If you're not a big fan of Lorehold Command, you also have things like Silver Quill Command, which I think are good replacement cards for that. It's a little bit cheaper. It's 4-drop instead of 5. And it plays well with our deck too, because you're going to be able to, you know, return target creatures with mana value 2 or less, which we have 1, 2, 3 of those. So that part of the card is the hardest card to fulfill as far as you know, your choices go. The rest of the card is busted, giving you know, target creature 3/3, you know, returning the creature, you know, drawing cards, your opponent having to sacrifice a creature. This card is really good, and I actually did consider it over Lorehold, but I thought Lorehold just made more sense because, you know, it has that sacrifice a permanent, draw 2 cards attached to it, and I think that is just a little more important than anything the Silver Quill Command can offer. So overall, love the deck. It's very smooth. It's one of those decks that, you know, it's tried and true. The snow package, Blood on the Snow, Blood Money style type list with Kaya and, you know, small creatures that you can, you know, get incremental, you know, bonuses over time with. This has been tried and true and tested, and it's a solid deck. I like that we played it at Mardu, made it a little bit different, had a little more fun with it, obviously. And yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoy as well. Before I hop out of here, today is Wednesday, so that means we have a live stream tonight. Don't miss out, guys. We have a lot of fun on the live streams. We're probably going to be grinding on best of 3, I'm thinking. Just, you know, continue climbing the ladder and trying what we can to rank up. So if you want to join us, come hang out with us, chat with us. I'd really appreciate that. And before I head out, lastly, Mardu Mob, huge shout out goes to you as always. If you guys don't know, these guys are the Mardu Mob. They are the members on this channel. They are, I can't believe how many there are these days, but there's a lot of them, and they are supporting the channel monetarily through their monthly membership program here on the channel. Kind of gives the you know, kind of gives me incentive to keep moving forward. The channel's growing. We're seeing, you know, benefits from fruits of our labor, and it's all thanks to these guys, and they keep this thing alive. So thank you so much. And if you guys want to become a member and a Mardu Mob member today, you can hit the join button down below or link in the description below. But yeah, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for everything. Appreciate you. We'll see you tonight. If not, we'll see you on Friday. Till next time. Peace.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Fizzy, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. Yeah, MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. With the upload, man. Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap.